Hi, welcome back to another session of Learning with ISRAR at ISRAR'S YouTube channel. Today topic of our discussion is total cost of ownership TCO, in which we will explain the concept, its importance in procurement and supply chain management, and finally we will identify and discuss the components of total cost ownership. Now let's define total cost of ownership first. Total cost of ownership is a financial estimate designed to help buyers and owners to determine the direct and indirect cost of a product or a system or a asset. It includes not only the initial purchase price but also all the expenses associated with acquiring, operating, maintaining, and eventually disposing of an asset over its entire life cycle. So it does go beyond the initial purchase price and includes all the cost associated with the item during its useful life. In supply chain management, TCO is crucial for understanding the true cost of goods and services, especially when comparing suppliers on sourcing decisions in procurement. After defining the concept of total cost of ownership, now let's discuss why it is so important to apply this concept while making the buying decisions. As we know, total cost of ownership is a financial estimate that assesses the complete cost of purchasing, operating, and maintaining an asset over its entire life cycle. It helps organizations and individuals make more informed decisions by understanding all the costs associated with a purchase, not just the initial price or cost. So, here are some of the reasons that why TCO is very important when you are making buying or purchasing or procurement decisions. Importance of total cost ownership concept is that it is a holistic approach in decision making. It helps to be more accurate in budgeting, sports, investment justifications, also mitigate future and hidden costs, avoiding low quality purchases, more operational efficiency, promotes better life cycle management of the assets of the product, better suppliers selection. Now let's discuss this one by this. The first one is a holistic approach in decision making. So TCO provides a holistic view accounting for all the expenses such as installation, energy consumption, upgrading, repairs, training, and disposable cost, not just the initial cost, which may be less. Also helps to make more informed decisions, potentially choosing a more expensive assets upfront if its long-term costs are lower. TCO analysis supports justification for investment by demonstrating long-term savings or cost, which is crucial for securing buy-in from a stakeholder. So it also helps to justify our investment decision sometime which looks like we are investing more where we can buy with the less money. TCO helps companies allocate funds more effectively and avoid unexpected expenses. For example, if a company knows a system will require significant maintenance, it can budget for those costs in advance. So it helps to in the accuracy in the budgeting. TCO also mitigate future and hidden costs by helping identifying risks such as potential future repairs or obsolescence. This ensures that organizations are not surprised by hidden costs and can mitigate them through warranties, support contracts, or better asset selection. avoiding low quality purchases. So, a low initial price might signal lower quality, which could result in higher maintenance or replacement cost later. So, a TCO discourages such purchases by showing the full picture of the product's whole life. It also helps us be more operational efficient. By analyzing TCO, companies may realize that investing in more efficient or sustainable technologies like energy efficient equipment or software with the lower ongoing support cost will save money in long run. TCO promotes better life cycle management uh, by ensuring that assets are maintained properly to extend their useful life and reduce overall costs. Finally, it also help us to select better suppliers. So TCO can guide organizations toward vendors offering better long-term value, including lower maintenance, support, or replacement cost, helping secure better deals or more reliable products. These were some of the benefits we use the concept of total cost of ownership. So now let's see what are the components of the total cost ownership we have to consider while we are making the decision or analyzing total cost of the ownership. So here are the key components of the total cost of the ownership. The first one is the acquisition cost. The next is operating cost, maintenance and sports cost, upgrading and scalability cost, downtime cost, training cost, energy and resources cost, disposable or decommissioning cost, then opportunity costs, and also the compliance cost, and finally financing costs. Now let's discuss these costs one by one. The first one is the acquisition cost. It is the initial cost to purchase the assets or the system, which includes the upfront cost of acquiring assets, cost associated with the delivery, setting up, installation, or implementing. Uh, then the initial cost of licensing if it is required, or subscribing to a product. The next cost is the operating cost. It is the ongoing cost required to run or operate the assets over its useful lifetime, like energy or utility cost to run or power the assets, labor and staffing cost to operate, and ongoing maintenance, servicing, or technical support, including service contracts. Then comes the maintenance and support cost. It is the routine maintenance cost for regular or scheduled servicing, repairs, and spare parts replacement needed to keep the asset operational. Another cost, future cost, is like upgrading and scalability costs. These are the cost of upgrading or scaling the system to meet growing demands or changing requirements. These are like adding more storage or computing power to IT infrastructure, modifying or adding new parts to equipment to meet new performance standards, or upgrading the equipment that required additional investments. This is another important cost we should consider while we are acquiring the assets. That's called downtime cost. These are the costs associated with the system or equipment resulting from downtime. Either planned or unplanned downtime affects the efficiency or the output of operations, that leads to loss or delays in the productivity. Plus the replacement or redundancy cost, where businesses need to maintain spare or redundant systems to mitigate downtime risks, or hiring temporary services during the downtime. Training costs, these costs we should also consider while we are buying some equipment or assets. So these are the cost of educating employees or users to properly use or operate the new system or product or assets effectively. Cost may include for initial training or ongoing training if it is required, plus the training materials like manuals or tutorials, are also time lost during the training sessions when employees are not working in their own training. Energy and resource cost. These are the cost of energy or resources consumed during the usage of the asset, like fuel consumption for the machinery, electricity usage for the server or data center, and water and chemical required for production process. Another cost we should consider while we are buying some equipment, that is called disposal or decommissioning cost. So the cost associated with disposing of or decommissioning the asset at the end of its life cycle, like recycling fees for outdated equipment, cost of safely disposing of hazardous material, and decommissioning fees for retiring large scale system or infrastructures. Opportunity costs. These are the cost of foregoing alternative investments or actions by committing resources to a particular assets, like potential revenues lost by choosing one capital investment over another, or inability to invest in newer, more efficient technology because of current systems commitment. So this is the opportunity costs. We have also considered the compliances costs. These are the costs associated with meeting regulatory or legal requirement over the life cycle of the assets, like costs incurred for adhering to environmental regulation, safety certification fees, and inspection or data security compliances for IT systems. Last but not the least is the financial cost or financing costs. If the asset is financed or leased, interest payments or lease expenses need to be considered as a part of total cost of the ownership. Also, financial terms and conditions which affect the bottom line of the buying organization should be considered while we are buying some assets or equipment or any computer or IT system or infrastructure assets. Finally, summarizing our whole presentation, total cost of ownership is essential for ensuring that organizations understand the full financial impact of their purchasing decisions and helping optimize both short term and the long term expenses.